Hello, everyone. This has been waiting to be filmed for a couple weeks now. I just never got to filming it. Wasn't feeling in the mood. And this will be my Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban book versus movie comparison. I do not have the book cover handy because I had to return it to the library last month. I do own these books. It's just I put them to a friend like 3 years ago and haven't gotten them back. So it is what it is. Alright, some of the biggest differences I've noted, and this one's probably going to be a little bit lengthier because it's a bigger book than the last two. The first difference was that Neville and Ginny were in the train compartment with Harry and Ron and Hermione and Lupin when the Dementor was in, and Lupin was actually awake at that point. And Malfoy had actually ran into Fred and George's train compartment because he was scared by the Dementors. I thought that should have been in the movie. And then I noticed, just not in this book, but in the ones before, and I think in the future part of the series, that the people in the pictures are actually more in the story. And one thing I found kind of interesting is that McGonagall said Trelawney predicts one student dying each year, and they never do. So that I wish was in the movie as well. And one difference, which I know they kind of did it for dramatics and funny comedy, that Harry actually volunteered to meet the hippogriff first. And there's more than just one hippogriff. The class actually interacted with him. And one thing I don't like is how they portray Hagrid as not always knowing enough in the movies. Hagrid had enough common sense to take him to the hospital without Hermione actually having to tell him. And one thing I love is how Peeves is in the stories when he was taunting Lupin, and Lupin just laughed, which I thought was kind of cool. And one thing that is kind of apparent in the movies, but not as much, is that Snape bullies the Gryffindors even more in the books. And with that whole arm injury from the hippogriff, Malfoy has others doing his handy ones from the potions. And, excuse my kitty, he's always got to be a center of attention. Anyway. And then Ron notices Hermione's impossible schedule and disappearances. And there's more actual classes in the book, which happens throughout the whole series. So I wish there was so much more in the movies. I still love the movies, but still. And another difference was the fat lady wasn't found right away. The head boy and girl were in charge while the teachers searched for Sirius. And the conversation was different, and it included Percy when he was in the Great Hall that Harry overheard. There's also more in Quidditch, including practice, and it's never really mentioned that Cho Chang is Ravenclaw's seeker, and that Harry thinks she's pretty. And I don't think it's mentioned in the movies that Harry thought he saw the dog in the stands at the Quidditch match. And in Hogsmeade, there's no invisibility cloak. Hermione and Ron also they were hidden out of view behind a tree. With that whole Sirius Black is Harry's godfather. And Harry received a final bolt for Christmas, not at the end of the movie. And in the book, the Christmas dinner was one table set for 12, and that's never really shown in the movie. I wish they showed more of the holidays and stuff in the movies. And Sirius Black had gotten into Harry's dorm room. Ron saw him, so the Catawagon let him in because he had the passwords. Neville had written them down and lost the paper. And since Catawagon was fired and the fat lady came back with protection of some security to trolls, which was never mentioned. Oh, you would have focused. My poor baby kitty. It's gotta be the sense of attention. And then there's more tension with Hermione. First, they were mad about the final bolt because she ratted them out to McGonagall, and McGonagall took it for Flitwick and them to look at Chuns and make sure that it wasn't cursed. And then there was huge tension with the Crookshanks and Scabbers which is shown a little bit in the movie, but not as much. And Haley had Ron and Haley for tea, and he told her that she had visited Hagrid a lot and that she'd been crying. She helped a lot with the case, with the whole hippogriff thing, Buckbeak. And Hermione wasn't there when the snowball fight occurred, and the cloak fell off and Malfoy saw Haley, and Snape busted him. Although I did find the snowball fight really enjoyable in the movie. And that is when the Morning Map scene happened. And Haley's seen Crookshanks trotting along the black dog outside. And Hermione retrieved the invisibility cloak from the secret passage, and they used it to go visit Hagrid before the Buckbeak's execution. And Crookshanks helped calm the Whomping Willow down so that Haley and Hermione could enter it. Haley never seen Pettigrew's name on the map. Lupin did. Just doing that whole scene at the end. And Crookshanks protected Black when Haley was going to go after him. There was more explanation in the book, and Snape had on the invisibility cloak to enter. Hermione never howled, and Lupin never chased them, which I know, dramatics in the movie. Kind of cute, kind of cool. And Hermione was inside Hagrid's hut. Not with Haley as he did the Patronus charm, but she did see it. And Haley mentioned the letter from his godfather, a convicted murderer, to Vernon at the station. And Ron never mentioned the little cup. And Ron mentioned the little cup at the end in the book. Obviously, I love the books and I love the movies for separate reasons. I wish that they had shown more of the dropping off and picking up with the Dursleys at the train station and the interaction there. And I love the movie for just how everything's brought to life. Like the hippogriff flying thing, and I like how they illustrated the time turner scenes. I love so much about both. Is there anything that you really love about The Prisoner of Azkaban? I've heard a lot of people say that this is their favorite book or movie, and I can see that for some reason. Some reasons, but I also feel like some people say that they get along great in this book, and that's not the case, and there is tension between the three of them. I guess this is still like a lighter thing before it gets all done in the next few books and movies. But alright, there you have it. There's my comparisons that I've seen and noted. Thanks for watching and have a great day.